What's up, everybody? This is your girl Erica from the Classy Climb blog. We're in the car. We're gonna hit it and quit it. Y'all let me know. Put a 1 in the comments if my mic is nice and loud and you can hear me. Put a 1 in the comments and drop that city and state. Listen, we got a couple things to hit today. And I'm gonna be in here 30 minutes. I got to go because I got another show later tonight with DJ the Money Coach. I always want to give you guys good information, factual things that you can use because it's a business channel. It's a business. Okay. So here's the thing. Usually I'm quite frustrated with conversations out here in space, in the place when you walk around and talk to people. And so I try to find meetups and events to go to kind of the intellectual conversations per se, right? So I actually go to a real estate meetup the other day. It was amazing. From the door to the back, right? So a lot of times I tell you guys, you know, and I'm going to go through it today, but I'm going to tell you, listen, a lot of people can make a lot of money on YouTube by pretending not to know something. It works in the relationship space, the healthcare space. I didn't know that. Oh, that's so interesting. And it'll be basic common sense things. Same thing applies to higher levels. So you'll have real estate events and people come in there who've been watching YouTube for years, reading nonstop books. They'll come in there and play like, I don't know. I just don't know a thing. So you're in there talking to them, you're giving them all this information, and you realize, oh, wait a minute. This person knows this. This is a technique to get more information out of me. No problem. Right? No problem. No problem. I feel you. I know what you're trying to do. I get it. Right? Cool. But you know, those daggone Amber alerts. Okay, what they want me to do? Get the child. So we're in there, and this is why I tell y'all your associations, the events you go to, the people you bump to are so important. We're in there there's about 60 people in this room. I promise you guys, almost everybody in there own multiple homes, and we're under 50. You know, because that's the thing, internet. Well, that's black people that's 72 years old with some money. That's black people with a pension with some money. This is like one of those old wives' tales where everybody's old, they got money. No, there's a lot of young people. You're just not in the room with them. So I'm bumping into a young lady. She's working 9 to 5. She's a hardworking chick. I'm like, you know, yada yada. She's like, oh yeah, I'm in my third house. I'm like, wait a minute, what? Yeah, I live in this one. Got this one as an investment, and this is my third one. I'm like, oh my God. Right? So then that's just the repeat story on and on and on. Why? One person taught it to 40, 50 people. This is the power of masterminds, where one person has this knowledge, sees it working, and shares it with their community. Now, again, Latinos community, Black community, white community, Asian community. Listen, you can't always choose the community you're born into, but you can choose who you hang around with and who you interact with. You dig? Is my mic too loud? Let me know. Let me know if it's too loud or if I need to move it down a little. So I'm there and I'm just like on energy on high, right? I end up talking to somebody. We got a great deal coming through. It's amazing. So what I realize is sometimes the gold is right in your backyard, right? I don't know if you guys ever listened to some of those great books Zig Ziglar recommends. It was a guy who, you know, dug up one diamond, right? He dug up one diamond and he showed all the neighborhood. Look at all this with this diamond I got. They're like, oh my God, that's so amazing. And one farmer went and bought his land from him and was just digging for diamonds, hoping he'd get one too. Guess what? The whole time they were in his original farm, the whole time. This happens in life, right? We're moving to city to city to city to city, and these newer generations are moving around. They realize, well, I can do this back in North Carolina. I can do this back in Indiana. I can do this back in Chicago. I can do this back in Florida. And that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of all this. And the power of being in the room. So that's my 2 cents on that. I didn't realize so many people were masterminds till I remember like the Stormy Wellington thing, you know, the low vibrational plate. Because I was trying to figure out why y'all so mad with this black lady. So I had to Google it because you know I ain't on the internet like that. I'm on here to produce content, not receive. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense to you, you know what I'm talking about. So they're like, yeah, people paid $10,000, Ericka, to be with her, be around her. I said, that's what we do in masterminds. We literally pay $5 to $10K to be around each other and be learning and teaching and growing. We don't just pay $10K to hang around somebody. So I'm gonna just put it to you that way, right? We don't do that. So it was not uncommon for me to bump into several people in the event who were in different masterminds. Oh, I'm in this mastermind. I'm in that mastermind. Oh yeah, we do this. Because that's the nature of people who really want to go somewhere. You can go faster together. You can go faster in a group. Now, here's the issue though. Are people in that group healthy by themselves? Are they stable by themselves? And this is something Man of Tomorrow's been doing a whole series talking about people. It's been cracking me up, but he does a really great job. Keeping people at the bottom comfortably is $1 billion industry, right? So anytime I come on here and I start telling you, hey, this is the standard, this is what you need to be doing, this is where you need to be investing, this is where you need to course correct yourself, people don't like that. They don't like it. They say, please stop telling it. You're so harsh, Ericka. I've heard people in the comments, well, her channel would be farther if she wasn't harsh and she wasn't mean. Yeah. Literally, I read the comments and it cracks me up because I go, what you want is sugar-coated parenting. Sorry, I'm not your parent. I'm not your mom. I'm not your girlfriend. I'm not your sister. I'm maybe your cousin. You know what I mean? But what I want to tell people is like, they want sugar-coated parenting online. There's $1 billion industry in doing that. I definitely want y'all to check out. I shared it on Instagram. A real estate big time investor, thousands of mobile homes. Chris Rood, Rodd, right? Thank you. He went and he basically was like, "Meet Kevin's a scam. He's a scumbag." Like he just did a whole rant, and it was like, whoa. And so he just was like going off on the guy, and he was just like, me, Kevin's an entertainer, and he's not a real businessman. If you take the YouTube money for him, he can't even run a business. You see what happened when he tried. And this brought my point up. That is so perfect. A lot of people are like, oh, you guys are just course creators. You're selling courses. You're hawking courses. And I literally go, if that's the only talent they have, it will run dry. But I'll be very clear to you. I've seen people have masterminds and new masterminds going on 20, 30 years now. I had a friend we talked about, he used to be into conferences in the 1980s and 90s. He's like, man, y'all telling some of the same stuff. I said, yeah, to new people. We literally have a society where we are not educating anybody on financial literacy or the importance of education. Now, there was a move, and it was a wrong move in the 1990s, 2000s. Go to college, go to college, go to college, go to college, go to college. They didn't say go get a blue collar trade. They didn't say go be a plumber, go be a welder. They didn't do that. They said go to college, right? So it became this drumbeat for a good 15 years of going to college. But guess who prospered from that? Asian communities, immigrant communities, certain white communities, where they're like, hey, go get a STEM degree. Go become a doctor. Go become a lawyer. Go become a this. Go become a that. Your mom, Vicky, that works at the daggone Waffle House, telling you to go to college, and she don't know what you need to go to college for, and she really can't support you financially in any decision to get extra tutoring, extra help, any extra stuff. You haven't been raised for that environment. You haven't been raised for college. You really aren't even well enough to do college. You don't have the fallback of, if you have a problem while at college, Vicky can support you. She can't. She's a single mom. She's working at Waffle House. That's not even your caste system. Let's just go there. That's not your system. You don't know how to work it. That's why you're meeting these people who they're in Ivy League schools, but their parents ain't that wealthy, or you're meeting people who go to these particular colleges and they're in all the events and all the associations, and you're trying to figure out, just trying to how to do basic algebra. I've seen people struggle, and I go, college wasn't made for a lot of y'all. It was made for the networkers, the movers, the doers. Just was. Certain families wanted certain kids there. That's what it was for. So I know people gonna get mad, but I'm just gonna go to that. So there's $1 billion industry. And again, you guys would be super comfortable and laugh and joke all day. Non-stop comedy, non-stop sports, non-stop nonsense on TV all day long, goofy stuff, non-stop content. Okay? Look, there you go. My mom dropped me off at college without making sure I was even settled in. If she can't help you, that's out of her spectrum of what she even know how to do. She can't help you. And so there's a lot of money in this kind of notion, especially in the Black community. And I'm gonna go into pensions, but we shouldn't be throwing people away, Ericka. Don't throw people away. That's so terrible. Y'all just want to throw people away. Y'all just want to put people in jail and throw them away. And the reason it is because we have the standards of, like, you're getting free education at school. Not the greatest, but you're getting a free one. Right now, you're going to prison for 3 or 4 years. Only thing you should be doing is reading. Now, I know you got to survive. It's crazy in there. Folks is crazy. Folks is on some crazy shit. I feel you. Brother, sister, salute. Protect your mindset. Protect yourself. But the whole time you in there, you need to be reading. The whole time in there, you need to be educating yourself. The whole time you're in there, again, even people in the chat, they're not even focusing on the conversation. They're talking about everything but stay focused. Stay focused. There's this mentality of let's not throw people away. And the reason I feel like the Black community does it the most, like the Christian, we shouldn't throw people away, is because they don't want to be left behind. When you start asking older Black women certain questions, they will be angry with you. Hey, why didn't you do this? Well, I didn't know at the time, Ericka. You know what I mean? They get real mad. You go, this is ABCD. Why didn't you do ABCD? Well, I didn't know, or I didn't want to. You can, that's the thing. And so in the Black community, it's supposed to be acceptable that they made bad choices, they continue to make bad choices, and you better get on with it. You better stop asking them questions. That's really what it is. Stop asking people questions. Stop questioning that. So when we're at a mastermind and we're at an event and folks have been paying money to be in somebody's mastermind and people coming in there like, I don't know a thing. What are you doing in your free time? You're paying money to be around people who are movers and shakers. You need to be moving and shaking as well. Now, we talked about this. If you're in my digital real estate class, we did a whole conversation on groups, inner circle groups, and all that stuff. And where there was one guy we showed, it's $3,000 a month to be in his inner circle. If there's just 100 people in that bad boy, he's making 300 grand a month off of it. Now, first thing you're gonna say was, well, Black people ain't got no money, and we can't be a part of these groups. No. The Black people don't got no money. Let's come with it. Okay? The Black people don't got no money. But they out there. Stormy Wellington had a boat full of women paying $10K to be there. So even if they use credit cards, they got some money. Right? This is why I'm leading this to go somewhere. But again, you got 1,000 people, somebody pay $1,000, 2,000 people in a group, you're talking about $2 million group, right? Out of that $2 million group, you could have countless in-person meetups, you can do all kinds of stuff. But what ends up happening out of that group, even if 2,000 people are in that group and they paid 1,000 for the year to be in that group, I promise you, it'll be a strong 200 to 400 people that actually do something. The rest won't. I've been in groups. I know this to be true. You'll have an event. It'll be 100 people show up. There's a solid 10 people in that group that will be doing something. That will be on it. That'll be focused. That'll be disciplined. Everybody else is kind of listening. They aren't 100% convinced yet. And the reason they're not 100% convinced yet, because this is what happens. One or two things happen. As you mentally grow and you mentally change, and now your outside starts changing, your environment starts changing, the people around you are like, what you doing? Who do you think you are? Where are you going? They start attaching. Listen. I know too many people who family friends don't pay them no mind. They start making money. They start going on vacations. They start going on trips. All of a sudden, they feel like, hey, what you doing? I saw you, baby. Oh, yeah. See, they want to talk to you now. Because you're doing a lot, man. You're doing a lot of traveling. In comparison to who? In comparison to what? This is a conversation y'all going to have. Listen, trust me. 2023 is going to be a major leap year for a lot of folks. And they're not ready. There's so many people not ready, not even paying attention. Oh, Eric, I might buy a house next year. I might do this next year. You ain't paying attention. You're not ready. It's okay. It's okay. You ain't ready. But I'm telling you, I already know what's going on. This is going to be a big, massive year. People thought 2020 was it. 2021. Nah. This is going to be a big one. There's so many people who they ran out of money during the pandemic. Right? They ran out of money during the pandemic. Right? So now they on the last. They limping. I'm seeing offices. I'm seeing retail spots close up. They were limping on the stimulus money. They were limping on the ERC money. It's $26,000 per employee. I'm gonna tell you like this: if I had one of these little retail places and I had 10 employees, now I got $26,000 per employee. Let's just go there. 2.6 mil. I'm gone. I'm closing shop. I'm going on vacation. I just know what people did with the money. I've been in too many situations where they try to sell the company. They try to get rid of it because they know, man, like the ERC was the last of that big stimmy money for business owners who had their shit together. That's why when Black people like making fun of the PPP and stuff, I laugh at them because 9 times out of 10, the Black people really laughing at PPP. It was business owners, Black ones that could not get it because they didn't have employees. They had contractors or their books were not in order. So right now, you're talking about these little mom and pop shops on these corners, these little retail stores, these little ice cream stores. They got 5 to 10 part-time, some full-time employees. You tell them they get $26,000 per employee times 10 people. Y'all do the math. And the ERC going heavy. My phone rings every day. All 3 of them from different companies going, hey, we can help you get the ERC for a little price on our back end, help you prepare the paperwork. Trust me. Companies who had employees, especially them companies that had 200, 300, 400 employees, 100 employees, 20 employees, they're going to take the money and they're going to run. They're going to take the money and they run. They're going to have, and again, let me preface this. I'm leading it somewhere. Let me preface this. I know a lot of people, you know, if you don't tell them 1, 2, 3 in 5 minutes, their brain can't work. They're like, oh, my brain. Again, you need to work on your long attention span and get yourself together. Now, why am I bringing all this up? Why am I talking about masterminds? Why was I so excited to be in a room full of young people under 40? Really, a lot of them was under 50, but I'd say a majority was under 40 who have multiple home ownership. It's because the conversation's different. The dinners are different. Hey, girl, let's go over here and have dinner on Friday. Yeah. Hey, you and your husband, let's all go over here and have dinner on Saturday. For sure. Because what happens if you're with the average 9 to 5 folks, they're going to find every way to, we can't spend the money. We don't have any money. We can't go to dinner. We can't even eat at Texas Roadhouse. We might be able to have a cookout at our houses. Everybody brings a piece of chicken. We might be able to do it. This is how people are right now. People are freaking out. They're like, I can't even have a cookout over my house. I can't even have a birthday party. I just can't do it. And so what you're seeing is people who've been making money, the husband's making money, the wife is making money, but they haven't put any money aside or invested well. So they're sitting up here when you ask them, hey, let's go eat, let's do anything. They can't. They really, truly can't. It's a crazy thing, but it's happening. We literally have a friend, loosely, I'm going to say associate, just to be nice, known her for years in Austin. She's been working for Google for 13 years. I used to go up to Google, eat free snacks at her office. Yeah, I'm telling it. She don't work at Google no more. I can tell it. I was going up there with my badge and getting free snacks and walking around the place. So I can do that. And as I was doing that, she just got let go via email. Not even a call after 13 years. Not an in-person, hey, we're going to tell you why we're letting you go. Straight up email. Now, first thing I think is, well, what job did you really have? So all of a sudden, I looked up and realized her job is not that important. I hate to say it. It just wasn't that important. She was making 120. But it was just like she was on a team of people, okay? And so I was like, well, girl, you had to know they was gonna come get y'all. You had to know, okay? Now, what's the problem with my story? First thing you're going, wow, they let her go. Google, oh my God. See, tech is having all these layoffs. Y'all, on Facebook, she wrote up what she does. This is how long I've been doing it. I'm looking for anything in Austin. Within her comment section on Facebook, it was like, oh yeah, girl, come over here and apply with us. Oh yeah, girl, we're looking for 2 people. Come over here. Oh, girl, just send me a message on LinkedIn. I'm gonna send it to my manager. That fast, y'all. She just posted this on Facebook maybe 3 days ago, max, maybe 2.5. I have a blocker on my Facebook, so I got to go back and look. So within her own post and her own comments, before she even changed her on LinkedIn, oh yeah, girl, call us. Come on over here. You're not gonna get 120, but you might get 100. So I'm telling you, when people sit here and go, what do you think about the tech layoffs, Ericka? Oh my God, it's all crashing. I kind of laugh. I go, you do realize we're literally shipping in by the millions people from overseas to do these jobs, right? You do realize that. That's what we're doing. Why are we doing that? Because Americans are waiting to the last minute to get a certificate. They're waiting the last minute to go to a boot camp. They're waiting till they're 45, done had a heart attack, one leg working good, gangrene in the other foot. Like, maybe I should go get a real job. Let me get some tech. And I can't keep working at Food Line no more. I can't keep stocking stuff in the back stove. Let me see if I can do something with my hands, some computer. Let me see if I can do the computer now. I'm meeting more adults like this, and y'all think it's a joke. It's really not. And when me and Dr. Dix are going to do a whole show on the nursing scandal. I'm going to talk about it briefly here, but the whole thing is a lot of these people, when it was time to be learning, time to be educating themselves, they was out there goofing off and telling you young black people, don't you go to college, girl. That's nothing but debt. And now look up. They 40 and 50 trying to figure out how to pay that money to get a scandal, get a fake nursing license. Okay, listen. They just found what? 200 kids under 15, Latino kids working at a slaughterhouse cleaning in the Midwest. Was it Wisconsin? Y'all can look that up if you want to. They just found them people. So we're short on people to even do what? Clean a freaking warehouse that they could bus in 200 kids in a cleaning crew that clean multiple warehouses. And everybody's trying to pretend like they don't know how they got here. I don't know how them kids got here. We got data systems. We know how they got here. The warehouse asked for them. The warehouse knew they could do that. Instead of hiring the local black and Latino people $9, $10 an hour to clean the place, they got massive amount of illegal immigration to do it. We already know that. We know that's what that is. Now they'll figure out every way to say we just subcontract this company, and I can't believe our subcontractor got these illegal people here. Okay, cool. I hear you. But why is this happening? Because in America, we have so many black and Latino. I mean, we're younger than most, but in our demographics, our older folks are like, oh, I can't work at the factory no more. Oh, I can't do this no more. I don't know what to do. Right? Because let's just really go there. There's a lot of black moms who had all the kids when they was 20. Now they're 45, and she could go do something else. She's not liable for children. Now, if she want to pick up them grandchildren, that's on her, but she's not liable for children. So she could do what? Improve her skills, get a higher paying job, have a nice retirement where she's not eating cat food to live. So, I mean, again, this is all leading to multiple problems. There's 3 problems you're going to see. And I know somebody's getting ready to do a show, so I don't want to mess up his show. But again, you're going to see 3 things happening. You're going to see a tech certificate scandal bust out. Trust me, it's coming. It ain't here yet, but it's coming. Number 2, you're going to see pension funds. Empty. And I'm going to tell you why that's going to happen. Sorry, it really happened already. 3, you're going to see more medical scandals. More. Let me explain to you. There's a nursing scandal going on in Florida right now, where they're giving all these people these fake certificates, fake stuff. Let me tell you what's happening. Let me say if I pull a couple Haitians, and I'm going to guess before this all comes out to wash, I'm going to bet you money a lot of these people are going to be immigrants. And I know people are going to hate me for saying this, but this is going to be immigrants and some ladies that are trying to squeeze by. Because $15K cash ain't just laying around for everybody. Some of that's going to be on a credit card. Some of that's going to be immigrant families rolling up the money together, push one through. Okay, it just is what it is. Don't get on me. Don't be mad with me. They got these fake 7,000 people, got these nursing licenses. So let's say I don't want too much scrutiny. Let's say I don't want to work. Let's say my school's in Florida and I go and work in Kansas in the middle of nowhere. I go work in the middle of North Carolina in a rural area. I go work in Virginia in a rural area. I go work in anywhere, Oklahoma. I just work far enough outside the city that if my skills aren't perfect, I can still learn on the job. I can fall behind other nurses, and I can still get what I need done and still collect a paycheck and still be in need. Let's even flip it to the flip side. I could get this fake certificate and go work in somewhere, right? An old folks home where, oh man, the nurse is sticking me really hard. She's not very good at the needle. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm young. I'm a young nurse. I'm so sorry. A lot of that. I'm not saying it's right. I say it's very dangerous, especially with the pandemic we just had. But a lot of these nurses that got them 7,000 that went all over the United States, all they had to do if they were thinking, I know this sounds terrible, is go sit in somewhere rural or close to a city, not in the city where somebody can really peek at what they're doing, but off a little bit, where they're so short-staffed, they really need her. They're like, oh man, we need her. Oh, she seems to not know this or that. Trust me, that's what's going to be. When they figure out all the different people, FBI, $100 million, you think the FBI going to let $100 million racket go by and they don't get some money off of it? You bad. But let me be very clear. Them nurses went and got somewhere where they can get their skills right. Okay, they doing it. They got it. Okay, cool. And then they can keep moving around with that degree after a year or two. 2 or 3 years. It's fake, but now you don't got the experience. Now when your employer calls, oh, she worked at this hospital and that hospital. She got a track record from that hospital. That's what they're gonna find out in the end of this. With all this, that's what they're gonna find out. Same way with the immigrants coming over with the fake certificates for some of these tech jobs. They own the job learning, figuring it out, getting fired a time or two, and then going over to another tech company and keeping it moving. That's why I tell y'all the nursing thing is the reverse of the tech. A lot of y'all, you didn't want to go to college. You wanted to eat by, and now you get into the late 30s, late 40s. Your back hurt, your butt hurt, everything hurt. You want to just figure out how to get your foot through the door, and you'll pay that money to get that boot camp training real quick and get your foot in the door at the job. No problem. But what that job's going to require of you is you go get that degree. When it's tech related, they're going to require you get some type of degree on the back end. They're going to figure out like, hey, we have tuition reimbursement, but you need to be going to school. If your company ever pulls you aside and talk about when you're going to go to school and you don't want these tech jobs, go ahead and go to school, baby. Go ahead and save yourself the trouble. Go ahead and enroll. Go ahead and find a school of your choice that does afternoons, because that's what you're going to be doing. Because they're trying to cross their T's and dot their I's. Like, man, we got her in the door off the certificates, but she don't know everything. That's what's going to happen. The reverse happened for these nurses, right? They paying 15 out the gate. Now, why am I'm not being a jerk, but I am. The reason I'm bringing this up for pension funds and all this stuff in new medicine is people that are 55, 65, 75 that you would think would be retiring right now, they're not going to retire. They're not. They're going to be going into these fields. They're going to be becoming old nurses, older medical care folks, older retirement home owners, adult daycare owners. That's what they're going to be doing. Why? Because the pensions are empty. I'm going to tell you this right now. If you were a YouTuber and you got like a little team of people that can do research and study, and you can read off like Meet Kevin, you can make $1 million right now doing a whole channel about pension funds. Because that's exactly what Robert Kiyosaki's doing. He keeps saying, oh my God, the pension funds are empty. The pension funds. And so you're hearing it, and he's talking about gold. He's talking about this. You're like, I'm feeling the gold. I'm not feeling that. I'm not feeling the silver. I went to CPAC. It was real old up in there. Even CPAC was like, y'all gonna have to get back out here on the battlefield. Now, what they talked about was the schools, the school boards, and some of these political arenas. Well, what I'm telling you is you're gonna start seeing these older Gen Z baby boomers who can't retire because there is no pension for them. And they're gonna do stuff like I told y'all the other day, where our friend Credit Irene set up somebody's whole thing. They set up their website, their links, their intake forms, their everything, so they can have a full-fledged tax business, tax preparation business for like $10K. She set the whole thing up. I said, girl, do you know that's worth $15K? She's like, I know. I'm like, girl, what you just did, I could buy that package for somebody. Put her as the face of the tax company and get all the money. Girl, come on. Basically make her an employee. Pay her really well and go on. I'm going to tell you right now, this was going to happen. I'm giving y'all heads up on these older people and what you're going to see a lot of older people do. They're going to figure out these pensions empty. They're going to be rallying communities of people in Kentucky and Tennessee and places to be arguing. And who's my Congress member? Who's over the pension fund? Who's the name of this guy? They're going to be battling about these pension funds. The next 2 to 5 years, I promise y'all going to see this. They're going to be battling about these pension funds. But at the end of the day, them older folks that know, oh, the money gone? Okay, let me go ahead and get back out here. They got a different level of integrity and endurance than younger people. You got women and men that been at companies 27 years, and you be like, damn, they treat me bad. I hate this place. Yeah, it's just like that, It's just bad out here, And they'll still be working at the company as bad as it is, because they're from a different generation, and they'll stick with it. So the pension funds, you're going to start seeing all these different people. That's why these family offices, this conversation about family offices are going to be popping up more in the conversation, because people trying to figure out how to get 4 and 5, 6% returns on their money. I know this is a deep conversation for a short amount of time. I'm sorry. I could do a longer deep dive, but it ain't necessary. Everybody ain't going to get it, and that's okay. We have too many people at the bottom. I'll just put it to you like this. This is the bottom. We got too many people down here chilling, smoking, drinking, chilling some more, shaving their kids' head bald because they got bad grades, but they goofy ass can't help with their grades and won't pay for tutoring. Got too many people down here. The people that's just above those people, just above, right about here, they go, ooh, stuff about to get funky. Unless I what? Own my own house, right? Even if tax is crazy, I can fight that. Okay. Have some type of job that's highly paid. So even though you let me go, I got enough money left over for a few months. Put some kind of investment together because this pension and this retirement ain't gonna be here, right? The most secure Black people I know in my life, I'm gonna tell you this, and I believe this hard down, hands down, military Black people, because this is what they did. 9 times out of 10, you meet them. They did their 20 years in the military. They got their first check, their first pension. They get $2 and $3 grand a month off that first military pension there. Then secondly, they were bored. They couldn't just go home and not work because they used to working. So then they went to the post office or they went to a government job. They did another 20 years. And you don't even have to do 20. That second time around, you can do 10, 15 with the government. I kid you not, y'all. They can just go from 40 to 50 and retire again. It's look up some of these government people that take these jobs. It's crazy. So they do another 20 years. So now they went from 40, from kid out of high school, 18 to 40, they 20 years in the military, right? Now they 40 to 55, 60, ready to go home. They got 2 retirements, right? If they did not set themselves up to not be over leveraged. Now, let me explain you what over leveraged means. I know military men, they were getting out. They told them they're going to have about $2 to $3 grand a month. They went and got the biggest house they could find, the most brand new BMW. And they had like this much money to breathe on. They're like, damn, I'm going to have to go get a job. Like, I can't even goof off. I got to go get a job. It takes all of my retirement to pay for this house and this goofy car I done bought, right? So then they get the second government job, or they go be a police officer or whatever, right? Get that second pension, getting it started. 10 years later, hey, you can walk off. You good. Well, I guess I'll stay 10 more because I'm only 50 something. I don't know what I'm gonna do. So then they stay longer, right? So those are all government based pensions. Those people are locked in. Government gonna pay government if nobody else, right? Government based pensions. Most people out here in the regular world doing teachers' pensions, firefighter pensions, police officer pensions, a lot of different stuff, right? Lifeguard pensions. Some cities got that. Those are not going to be as guaranteed. And you're going to look up and they're going to be empty. It's not empty, short millions of dollars. Short heavily millions of dollars. So what's going to happen? Some of those people have to get what? Back into business or a small business, something that keeps them busy, keeps their mind active, gets them pay bills, maybe hire their millennial son or daughter or Gen X son and daughter that ain't doing shit for themselves. So he got a job. I remember I worked for Papa John's and I worked for a different franchise and they had their grown son in there, the manager. And I was like, this is the dumbest manager I've ever seen in my life. And people kept complaining about him. They're like, y'all gonna stop complaining about the manager. Couldn't find out that's their son. That's their son. Because you're like, who is the owner? Go look up the owner name, look up the son name. So he goofy, he messing the store up. Don't matter. It's Pizza Papa John's franchise. It's only so much goofiness you can do, right? And it'll still make money. Those people are gonna do that. That's what they're gonna do. They're gonna start little companies. Really, it's just gonna be their kids working. Really. I want to explain something to y'all that this guy explained to me the other day, and it was cracking me up. But he was like, I like hiring people that ain't got nowhere else to go. And I was like, wait, what? He's like, I like hiring people that ain't got nowhere else to go. And what he meant by that is this is their first time making 50, 75K a year. And he got them going to all these trainings, going to all these conferences. We working them like Hebrew slaves. I'm like, man, yeah, we working on people hard. Doing all this data entry in the phones and all this stuff. Well, couldn't find out. They ain't never made 50, 75,000. This is their first job ever making that. So where can they go to get equivalent pay when they really didn't have the skills when he first got there? He's been training them up. There's a demographic of people out there, y'all. They don't got nowhere to go. They're going to have to show up to work. They're going to be hating it. But they're like, damn, where else can I go get 75, 85? Nowhere. They had the UPS store. They don't want to be there. They working for UPS. They don't want to work there. They driving trucks for FedEx. They don't want to be there. Where else they going to get 85K? They don't have the real level white collar skills. They don't have them. So let me read some of y'all comments and try to wrap it up out of here. I did promise y'all 30 minutes, but I want y'all to understand anything y'all thinking of, Anything y'all thinking of as far as masterminds, associations, is really the people you're around. You know, a lot of people out here are stuck in bad situations because they refuse to let go of goofy people in their life. And again, the more you change, people around you either have to change with you or they have to go somewhere else. And they will. They will. Trust me. When you won't put up people's nonsense or you make rules, okay, well, sure, you can do this if you do this. They don't like that. They don't like that. Right? I used to wonder all the time why I would see people who had parents who were like, man, their kid never visits them. And people like, oh, they must have been mean to their kid growing up. Nah, 9 times out of 10, you talk to that older person, they have rules. The kid won't just gonna come nowhere and act crazy. The kid won't gonna just borrow money from them as an adult. Their kid won't go do A, B, and C. They made them have their rules. You know what I mean? So again, I have mentors who are older than me, and I can tell you their kids be doing silly stuff. And they don't put up with it. They don't put up with it. So that's why. But anyway, let me see some of y'all comments in here. And again, the nurse scandal, this is just the tip of the iceberg. Same thing with the teacher scandal where they're pulling all these Filipinos over to be teachers in California. It's so much. Like if I really wanted to make crazy money and just have a scam channel where people are scamming people, I can make a ton of money. If you had a doom and gloom real estate channel, there's people showing where they're making $50,000 off AdSense. Just doom and gloom. No kind of solutions, no way to fix it. Just doom and gloom, doom and gloom, doom and gloom all day long. That's what they're doing out here. And there's 386 people here. I ain't asking for much. I'm saying hit the like button. I have some trainings 1st of February. It's gonna be on credit because a lot of y'all being real goofy out here. Number 2, it's gonna be on middleman to millions, starting those service businesses, and I'm gonna talk about different ones. Also, just getting it in there, right? Digital real estate. We're gonna hit up another one because a lot of y'all should have been pushing and moving in January. I'm gonna show my students how basically we spent $30 a day, got over 250 people to watch our videos and our live training, made 2 to 3 sales a day off $30 a day. You did the math, right? Again, I'm gonna show them in the credit class. I'm gonna show them about 15 different new banks we've been messing around with, talking to. Again, y'all, these banks are making up their own rules. Some of them are going all around the world on some of this stuff, but a lot of them, like PenFed, some of the other banks that we listed, they're trying to get that last juice out of the lemon. And if I were you, I personally believe this, and I'm personally doing this. I'm getting all the credit I can because I feel like we're going to have a manufactured event, whatever you want to call it, that, oh my gosh, we got to, the schools, the vaccinations, and oh my God, the credit's going to crash. Oh, I feel like that's coming. Just like they just tried to blame eggs for all these people being sick. No, they're blaming eggs because y'all figured out inflation was incredibly high. But that's another conversation. Let me go on out here. There are only 3 types of people. One's about solutions, one about problems, and one about to get blown with the wind. Oh my God, yes. Yes, I know people whose husbands make great money, and you literally say, we should sit down and plan out 6 months from now where we'll all go on a trip. Oh my God, I don't think we can do it, Ericka. I don't even know. I don't know if we can do it. Oh my God. You're like, you don't know 6 months from now if you could be able to do something for $1,500. Yeah, that's not a good life. I'm sorry. Even if, again, people get to having the babies and they blame the babies for everything, but a lot of times y'all just don't plan. You don't plan the kids, you don't plan your situation, and now everything's a mess. That's what's really going on. Yep, after 13 years, man. Do y'all got some of them nursing degrees? Listen, let me tell you. I'm telling you, what you're gonna learn a few while is gonna be them certificates. They've already caught a bunch of folks from India with them fake certificates, fake college degrees. There's already one dude showing where he make all these fake degrees for people, and that's why when y'all be mad with Dr. Dix, I'm like, look, me and Dr. Dix gonna chop it up tomorrow because I keep telling y'all, you're gonna have to for real go to school. They're gonna for real check folk now, right? Your company, when they sit here telling you, oh yeah, we pay them 125. Oh, you do? They ain't got no college degree. They don't got none of this. Oh yeah, they came in because they had like 5 certificates. Yeah, they need to get something. So if I were you, just saying, being honest, I had to jump into tech right now. I had to get a few certificates, get my foot in the door. I barely know what I'm doing. If I didn't have a degree, I already have one. But if I didn't have one, I would go get an associate's degree. I'd go get a couple credits smashed together an associate's degree. So just in case they say something to me, I'll be like, oh, I've been working on my degree. I thought I could apply for tuition reimbursement, right? Like I would play the game, like real stupid. Like I don't know. Like you guys got to play the game, getting there, bro. I mean, one leg, man, one leg. Hold on. Already here, friends and family preparing visas to bring in more friends and family. Oh, always. Listen, always. You got certified during lockdown for sure. Look, Cynthia said it. She said, "Listen, it took me to have a baby to finally decide to get a master's in data. All right, all right." He said, "Still grateful for the UN Tech for 2 years ago. Video 2 years ago. I'm a full-fledged tech dude now. All right, man. Congratulations. I keep telling you." Microsoft was shipping over and housing people from India since the early 2000s. Yeah, they have boot camps, John, in Canada. They have boot camps in the Midwest. If you don't believe me, go watch the video I did with Technically Speaking. She got to be a part of a boot camp in the Midwest. In the Midwest. They put it there for a reason. They didn't put it in Atlanta. They didn't put it in Houston, Texas. They put it in the Midwest. They're studying hard. They're at a housing facility. They're trying to get this tech degree. She's studying hard because she's like, I don't want to go back to no job. There's men in there in their 40s studying hard. They were doing better than the young people. Because why? When you're in your 40s, you're in your 50s, you know what the job market looks like. You've been out there. You know this is your Hail Mary pass. Let me get this $120,000 job because I need this money to make it and also have some retirement for my bad knees. Okay, you already know. All right. So again, I said the same, Ericka, about people being lax. Listen, when I kept bringing up about people chilling in the pandemic, people are like, you're a piece of shit, Ericka. You're an awful person. People are struggling through a pandemic. They have mental health issues because of death going on all around. I know there's YouTubers right now who've been depressed for like 2 years and doing videos on being depressed for 2 years because of the pandemic. And I go, girl, if you don't get your up out the house and go get that therapy, I was going through therapy during the pandemic. It was a massive change of situation for sure. But a lot of the people that were saying, oh, the pandemic, I just need to lay on my couch and watch Netflix to the end of the earth. A lot of those people, and I don't know if y'all know this, I've been showing too much water on this channel. A water company asked me to do a sponsorship. One of the big ones. I'll just say that. One of the big ones. I think I might have to take it, y'all. Get that check. Get that check. But I want y'all to understand, these same people that was crying during the pandemic, laid up at their house, trying to get soft girl energy, trying to get their mind together. I need to lay down. Okay. Now what we doing? The rent done went up everywhere. You can't just run to the Southeast and hide out. You ain't running to Florida and some dude just scoop you up. Talk to me. I don't want to hear that though. When tech switches out free lunches for cat casserole, that's when the industry's in trouble. Exactly. I used to go to my friends' office all the time, get free snacks, free stuff. Again, y'all don't understand how powerful the Google is or the Indeed. Here in Austin, they have 3 different buildings for Indeed. Why? Because everybody's always trying to figure out how to hire folks. It's simple as that. The nursing scandal is tough. They mentioned 30% of the scandal nurses passed the board. It shows you don't need 2 years of schooling to get in that profession. That part. See, if y'all pay attention, in the 1950s, they were like, oh, Cuba and these South American countries are stupid making all these doctors and nurses. We don't need that many doctors and nurses. That's crazy, right? So they pulled back the numbers for nursing because it was after wars. No war going on, right? No war to get into Korean War and Vietnam War. So they pulled back on nurses and they pulled back on doctors. And how many people they allowed in the schools? Why? Because they wanted a certain class of people to be doctors, certain class of people to be nurses. You had a lot of Black nurses in the Black community come out of the wars, okay? And before that, but that's another conversation, okay? You had whole Black hospitals in New York and then parts of the South. Another conversation. But so they put all these regulations in here to weed out people. All this showed you is I don't need all that. Some of this can be learned on the job. Now, what it makes people upset about learning on the job? Well, who's going to be liable if your mom or dad is at the hospital and some nurses learning on the job? If you ever want to look up how many lawsuits happen at hospitals, it's insane. Mismanagement of care happens quite often. But you don't need that many years of schooling. That's all it is. All right. I enjoyed college and have 2 degrees, working on my third. JD. Ericka is dropping gems. 20,000 illegals coming in the next 4 years for those jobs. It's cheaper labor. It's cheaper labor, but you shouldn't. Let me just be very clear. And this is going to hurt some of y'all feelings. I know. If you're a man or a woman and somebody can come from Mexico not speaking English can take your job, you don't have a skill, baby. I'm going to say it again. I know I'm being ugly right now. If you're a man or woman and illegal, I'm not talking about tech. I'm not talking about a medical doctor. I'm not talking about a nurse. I'm talking about if you have a job and Jose, with no English, can walk across the border and dust off his clothes and put on a new shirt and come to work and take your job, you don't have skill. You don't, right? You don't. Even if you say, well, Ericka, I'm a plumber and they lowball. Nah, plumber's going to have work. HVAC dude's going to have work. Roofing going to have work, baby. These are all necessary skills that are very short-handed. You are going to have work. To say that illegals coming in and driving down prices up, no. You have money mismanagement. Most contractors and blue-collar guys have money mismanagement at high levels. That's all. But if you can say, man, Jose came and he can drive a forklift and I'm out of a job. Well, forklift, I'm forklift certified and I ain't did it in years. I did it from Lowe's, okay? I'm just playing around driving a forklift, okay? Like Amazon trains hundreds of people on forklift. That's not a skill, my brother. It's not. Loading things to somewhere with a forklift is not a skill. I'm sorry. I know they're going to get me for saying that, but it's not. Okay? Now, there was a moment, project management, warehouse management, logistics management. They started making men go get degrees for them because the guys were saying, why come he's picked over me? Start making people get degrees for that. So I'm just gonna put that there. Oh, I know. The money from nursing can be made in 1 month for sure. So they scraping up 15K to pay for this fake thing. Let's say they go be a nurse somewhere, right? They working lots of overtime, learning on a job, and then after 3 or 4 months, somebody looking at their skills and they're gonna got better. They can always say, well, I was just nervous when I first got here. All kind of stuff. They can make that money back. You have to constantly read and learn in tech. You can't get lazy. Those who chill all day are most likely recruiters. Look up Peter's. Listen, there's a lot of people that give US a wake-up call, right? I'm not a black pillar by no means. But again, when I do this with my hand, there's a whole sea of people. The underperformers, the chillers, the laziers, whatever you want to call them, the hoteps, whatever. You need to move a little further out, get you a little homestead with some chickens. Maybe put 4 or 5 of y'all, put 4 or 5 trailers on one piece of land. Maybe, go Pastor Dow, right? Pastor Dow. You got a whole community over there, about 300 people deep, maybe 400. They living together like that because that's what they're going to need to do, right? The cost of living is just going to be, they're not going to be able to make it. The cost, the expected to stay in the city, they're not going to make it, right? We have people in our society, they need to go bundle up in the community and go hang out together. They need to go, I know too many older black ladies who got some piece of land. They got a cousin and an uncle and a Ricky and a whoever living on trailers in the back part because that's where they can afford to live. And that's where, I know a family right now, their son got out of the military and he was just a bum. Military put him out for being a bum there. And he lives in one of their rental properties. And the parents just went and bought other rental properties. And I go, well, how's your son doing? This man's almost 50 years old, y'all. He's older than me. My family knows him. My moms and them know him. They're like, man, he's been a bum for 20 years. But it's a paid off house. He has a little truck. He don't bother his parents for nothing. He been married twice. Both times after the women realize this dude's a bum, they get up out of Dodge. There's people like that out here. It's about to get rough for some of them. I can see the fake Turk say, oh yeah, it's already happened. I know it is. Exactly. Think about somebody. Okay. So that's what I forgot. Okay. So the new medicine and super slow. I talked about this. I'm going to talk about it a little bit more, but again, go look at, and I'm not knocking anybody, but look at Grant Cardone's 10X health, right? Go look at Grant Cardone's body compared to his twin brother. It's like a 10-year difference, right? Even the programs I'm joining right now, where they're testing all your blood and they're giving you this stuff. You're like, y'all took some pills and I was like, roar! I felt like I could run down the street. do 3 YouTube shows, run back down the street, run back, lift weights, run back. I mean, like, I was like, this is 22-year-old in a bottle. What is this? And so you have this new level medicine out there that I keep telling you, one of my dreams is to own a cryotherapy place, because I just know the cutting edge of like cryotherapy, heat treatments, sauna, oxygen, B12 shots, IV bag places that pop up everywhere. There's a reason. Quality of food is less. People aren't eating what they need to. People aren't taking themselves away. But if you notice, and for some of y'all, if y'all getting some of these masterminds this year, because this is the year you're going to see a lot of masterminds pop up. If y'all get in some of these mastermind groups, you'll see these 50, 60-year-old business owners. And owning a business is a grind. It wear you out if you don't structure it properly. They're in peak physical condition for 50 and 60 years old. They can run laps around you. They can run down the street. There's this new age medicine out there with plasma treatments. As Super Sly told me earlier, it's called the Kobe treatment. Where they're putting platelets in people's body, healing them quickly. There's a lot of cutting edge technology healthcare that's like that 10K, 15K, 20K mark. And if you don't got a disposable 10K, 15K, 20K to do and to give them, you're going to see adults in their 50s and 60s look ran the hell down. I see people in their 30s right now looking terrible, looking awful, right? Looking terrible. And I'd be like, damn, they need more water or something. You know what I mean? There's new age medicine. It's not going to be about, well, I have a really good healthcare plan, Ericka. That's cool and all, but can you afford that edge technology stuff where all of a sudden they're helping your shoulder, right? We ended up running into this guy, and he had 2 metal shoulders, 2 metal hips. Dude was like 60 something, and he looked 40 something. He looked like he could run down the street and do a marathon just right there. And when he told us about his body, I was like, titanium shoulders and hips? Oh yeah, and this over here's that augmentation, that new health stuff. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to afford that stuff. That's why you keep seeing these billionaires and these really wealthy families. The person's living to 92 years old, walking, talking just fine. My grandfather's 92, and he's still driving all over Chicago and doing whatever he needs to do. I'm telling y'all, it's that new age technology and healthcare stuff. It's gonna be out of here, out of this world. There you go. If you're a recent graduate, hospitals will hire you before you take your boards. That part. Oh, yeah. Some of the VA hospitals, yeah. Nurses complain all the time about undereducated travel nurses. For sure. Because one, they're getting paid more than them. And they're like, what's going on? I know there's boot camps for nursing, there's boot camps for tech. And you know why it is? Because many people, this is the truth, and I'm going to hurt some feelings. It's going to take you 2 to 5 years to get what you want. I know, I'm sorry. Ericka, but you said you can start digital real estate today. You can start something on YouTube, Facebook. You can just start talking about healthcare, something related to health. Every day, pumping out YouTube reels, pumping out Facebook reels, and all of a sudden you look up and you got $5,000 to $10,000 off Facebook paying you because the reels are making so much traction. Yes, you can make money next 60 days for sure. But that long-term money, that if you don't have the charisma, you don't have a lot of the stuff that I think people need to do some of the social media stuff, that long-term money will be in tech, that long-term money will be in healthcare, that long-term money will be in media buying. There's a really cool white lady, she just came out with her course talking about media buying. And I laughed because I thought of Diamond Dave saying a media buyer, right? People don't talk like that. That's inside industry. We call them like, the Facebook ad guys. No, she's like, media buyer. Unless you're buying me TV time, don't call yourself a media buyer for me. It's a ridiculous. Yeah, they go, listen, the reason the FBI is involved, and let's be very careful here, because, we don't want the alphabet boys out there. But the reason the FBI is involved, it's $100 million, y'all. These warehouses and these slaughterhouses bringing in these illegals all the time, and everybody acting like they don't see a thing. They don't care. It ain't enough money. But that 100 million nurse money, they were like, oh, no, we got to get in there. We got to get in there. They still got nursing boot camps all over the place. Let me see. The market is full of degree people out of a jobs in tech. Again, what are they doing in tech though? Right? Who's managing people's pension funds? This is a great conversation. I've posted several videos on this, and I've even done one about Kentucky. Go back and watch the video. There's boards put in place to watch the pension funds. And then they'll hire people on the board to manage the fund. 9 times out of 10, it's some goofy who's like, well, let's do this. Let's invest here. But guess who's marketing him this? People can lobby. They can come and lobby. Hey, you should invest in our company. You should invest in this. You should invest in that. And so the guy who's over your whole state's pension for nurses, or for a whole state pension over teachers or firefighters, is investing in risky things. This happens often. Y'all, you could make a whole YouTube channel with millions of views and lots of money off of this, talking about the pensions for the next 4 years. You really could. Once you 10 years in a company, that person will 4K be looking fluffy, man. Take it from experience. There you go. Many military veterans, they chilling. Look, agreed. I got 2 requirements and living the dream. There you go. This is facts. Thank you. It's a loop of slavery. Not a loop of slavery. I'm telling you, Sergeant King said I get 3 checks. Okay, my mom is a golden parachute retiree. Had brain surgery, went to multiple wars, did all this stuff. Healthy as can be. Girl's gonna live probably another 20, 30 years. Super healthy. We got her cutting edge technology healthcare. I promise you. My mom is literally cutting edge health knowledge. She's just bored. So we let her start a business. Here, start this other business too. Here, now you can manage this rental property and you can manage this other thing. That's what you're gonna keep running into. Seniors who are like my mom, they in good health, they got the best health care, they in their best mind, they're gonna live another 20, 30 years, but they're bored. What can they do? They're gonna start speaking to seasoned folks like themselves. They're gonna have masterminds. They're gonna start building up, having adult daycare centers. My mom talks about it often, like, we should have an adult. I'm like, girl, I don't know about that. I'll give you the money, I'll invest with you, but I don't know nothing about it. They're gonna find things to do because they're bored. This is something nobody wants to talk about. You got a lot of 60-year-olds. Oh, I done fished, I done swim, I lived in Cabo, I done did all this stuff. I ain't trying to look at them grandbabies. I'm too young for that. But they're gonna be out here owning businesses. Small ones. Like, again, I put on appliance boot camp for a period reason. Imagine being a guy in your 60s. You got enough money, you hire 2 guys, you wrap 2 vans, you got a girl working the office phones. You come sit in your office in the day. Oh, how do plumbers do? It's just giving you something to do and a good 150, 200 in your pocket. That's what you're going to see. You're going to see a lot of that. And how are these employers? Look, I'm tell you like this. When I talked to that employer who was hiring those folks that are like associate degree folks and giving them 75K, or teasing them that the second and third year they can get 75K. This first year I'm going to pay you 50. Then I'm going to pay you 60 this year, and then 75K is at the max, right? But they made them work like Hebrew slaves. They had them going to schools. They had them getting classes. They had them going to conferences. They were ripping and running. And I'm looking at this dude like, why are you working this entry-level job doing all this stuff? And he's like, well, yeah, if I stay for 3 years, I'll be vested, and they'll pay me 75K on the third year. I couldn't say anything, y'all. I had to sit back and go, all right, well. Again, as Diamond Day says, get some skills to take the deal. Again, one of the things David Carroll got mad at, which is Value Entertainment, is he raised the income for one of his workers to like 80,000, right? He raised it to like 80,000. But the guy literally, as soon as he raised them to 85,000, went and started applying for jobs elsewhere. Why? Because I bet you money. Value Entertainment, I bet you money David Carroll had that dude working like a Hebrew slave in there. Working night and day like a dog, trying to get that 85. These smaller business owners can do that. Ghost life, that's a complex question you're asking that ain't even gonna work. I've done family office videos. I can't even put it together for you in a quick sentence. Let's say I'm Ericka Williams and I pick up 3 apartment complexes. I'm doing a very random thing. 3 apartment complexes, and I manage them and I make money off of them, and their returns are like 10%. I can go pitch this deal to a pension fund. Hey, If y'all give me this amount of money, I'll manage this for the next 20 years and give y'all all the returns off of it. That's it. That's a family office. I just gave you the short of it. But in general, you have to have millions coming in to get these to pitch to these pensions. But that's just an example, right? I'm Ericka Williams. Our management office, owns and manages 3 apartment complexes that are brand new. Hey, we're making 20% returns off this, but this what we'll do for you, government or pension fund for firefighters. We'll give you guys 10%. Now, you're going to give us all this money, we'll give you 10%. What about the other 10%? Because you're making 20% returns on this money already. That other 10% is for that company. It's for that family office and all their people that work in that family office to get money off that fund. That's what that is. And that's the most basic bare bone description I can give y'all. I can't do any better, any smaller size for that. After the second time, most ones have a paid off house in the woods if they're smart. Disability checks, all that stuff. Yeah, flip a couple houses. Even if they build one house a year, much better. I have tax clients. They have 4 checks: military, SS, business, and government pension. Facts. They told my mom, like, look, a lot of you veterans, oh, you got 100% disability. You can't ever get a job. My mom, who's from a baby boomer area, is like, I can't get a job? Oh, no. What will I do if I can't get a job? I go, Mom, they didn't say you can't start a business. Oh, really? Yeah, they didn't say that. You can start a business and keep all that money. And now you have something to do. And you gave yourself a job. Because most Black people want to do a self-employed route where they give themselves something to do when they want a job. Y'all, I mean, again, a lot of veterans doing just that. Gave themselves a job. Those fake traveling nurses, hey, man, congratulations. Claire said, I got the call center course working on for passing. Listen, think about it. 99% of people are looking for a job. So here you come saying, man, I can hire you for this call center job. They don't care. They just want to work. They want a job and a W-2 status. A lot of people. There you go. Where your brother gonna make UPS money from? Unless he go gets a tech degree, entry level, any of that stuff. Yeah, get them into a trade, something. They're accepting teachers with BAs only, which they should. Doom and gloom. Here's the thing. I'm not knocking the dude. Get your hustle on. Same thing like that white boy talking about real estate was going to crash the past 2 years, and it hasn't. And so he's stuck making the same videos every year. Real estate's going to crash. It's going to crash any moment now. He's been making $50,000 checks a month off some of that stuff. 30,000, 50,000. Listen, Jeremiah Bain, to this day, I will tell y'all like this. Jeremiah Bain and Dan allegedly, no knock to them. Great work. What they do. They are your average Target. One's a Target. Dan is Target. Jeremiah Bain is Walmart. White dudes who probably don't have a job and say, I'm going to start talking about the news on YouTube. And so it took off because there's a sea of older white dudes who are underperforming or in the doomer prepper mode, waiting for the day the shit hits the fan. And it appeals to a lot of them. Because guess what they're doing? They're reading the news. Go watch Dan Allegedly. Go watch Jeremiah Bain. They just reading the news to you. And Jeremiah Bain went off 4 videos ago because he was like, you guys are asking me to give you solutions. I don't have solutions. I just want to read the news. That's all he's doing is read the news. So when you ask the guy, okay, dude, thanks for reading the news to me. What's the solution? They don't have one because they're not real business owners. They're content creators. This is why I keep telling y'all when I'm out here and could take $10K off a credit card, pay my friend to go set up a website, pay a girl to go sit in the office, let her do all the work, pull the money from the tax preparation business. And there I am with a company just like that quick. A lot of y'all don't want to hear that because that would require you what? To come up with the 10K, 2, pay for the office, 3, hire somebody to be that face or work in the office and be responsible for somebody's payroll. For a lot of y'all, that's too much. Oh, that's too much, Ericka. Okay. I'm just telling you. Rural districts in Texas, you don't need a degree to teach, for sure. My best customer was Air Force, did 20 years retired, then he did 20 years UPS, and now he has a janitor. Yeah, they're just killing time. They're killing time. You see what else y'all got in here? I know y'all got super chats. I'm going to read them. I'm going to get on out of here because I got to go. And I have another show with DJ the Money Coach. He brings it. Just a news story about fake nurse diplomas. Yeah, they doing it. Thank you, O, for the 99 super sticker. I appreciate you. 1,400 for renting a house in Southgate, Michigan. There you go. There you go. Yep. You're not being ugly. You're spitting flax. I'm just telling y'all the truth, man. Thank you, Rich Goodson. My father retired at 68, 2018, and after visiting me 3,000 miles away twice, he started 2 new businesses. Yeah, Rich, that's what you're going to see. You're going to see a bunch of Gen X, a bunch of seasoned older folks who know, hey, man, business is going to have seasons of up and down. Guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to start a business. I'm going to hire some folks to be in it. I'm still going to take my vacations with my grandbabies. I'm going to take my grandbabies to Disneyland. I'm going to take my family to Mexico twice a year. I'm going to go fishing with whatever buddies I got left alive. I may have to fit the bill because they're broke, but I'm going to fit the bill. And then I'm going to take my wife once or twice. This and that. Again, y'all, I'm meeting these business owners. This is a majority of their day. They like to be home, chill. They check on the business a little bit, gives them something to do, actively doing something, and then they go plan their vacations. I promise you. Thank you for the 9 super, Rich Goodson. My 73-year-old father retired 4 years ago and started 2 new businesses out of boredom. I'm telling you, it's out of boredom. It's out of boredom. Thank you. Ford list can be there. You go. You already know. Let me see what else y'all got in here. Super sly. The oxygenated blood process is what cost Lance Armstrong the medals. Game changer. Listen, this is that new cutting edge technology. And even when Lance Armstrong tried to explain it to people, they still couldn't understand. Oxygenated blood? What? When I talk to people about hyperbaric chambers, and when people saw Michael Jackson sleeping in them, oh, why is Michael Jackson doing that? That's crazy. I'm like, because it's that cutting edge stuff that people now, you can go any kind of store and find them, but it's that cutting edge stuff. Sounds like $6 million man. We can rebuild them. They do. Hey man, Calendly link. It's always in the descriptions or it's tagged to the first. Again, we post a lot in the community wall, the descriptions, the links. We email the students. I'll email again. We'll make sure the email list has where you guys can reach me out there. I'm telling you, some of them nurses is goofy. 10% of the people fired at Google were food workers. Okay, there you go. They cost pension fund money dumb money. They really do. Because nobody's watching it. Everybody's just like, my pension's over there. By the time you have enough angry older folks figure out that they don't got no pension, ooh, baby, it's going to be rough. You don't. Again, let's be very clear. VMJM said something that's very accurate. I've talked about it a lot. You don't have to be a nurse to make great money in healthcare. The hidden paths are radiation, nuclear technology, medical laboratory, physical therapy. Yes. We have a cousin. She has only one eye. I know it sounds terrible. She has a blindness in the other eye. She's going to be a radiologist. She just has to pass the anatomy book. And that'll get her a good $75,000 where we live and working at the hospital or at some of the smaller clinics for the next 20 years of her life if she so chooses. And people will go, well, why are y'all forcing that girl to do that? And I'm like, because we want her to be able to take care of herself. Disability does not pay enough money for you to do nothing. Again, thank you, Rich, for the super chats. Let me see what else. Real quick, and I'm going to close this out. Oh, my God. Yeah, channels are crazy. They feed scare people. The world's going to end. Move to the country. Get you some chickens. You don't even know how to take care of the chickens, but go get the chickens. That's the marketing. But they make a lot of money. Doom and gloom. Thank you, Dan. Gloom and gloom. Dan allegedly talks so much, and he's always at the beach and parks telling you the economy's going to crash. That's literally what they do. That they are the embodiment of the white dude with no job. He lost his job, but he has his own house. I'm gonna tell y'all this. A lot of these YouTubers that had their own house before the pandemic and right around the pandemic, they didn't care. They can have up times, bad times, good times, no times. When people own a house, you know the difference. So they got a house. Two of the people I know pulled equity out of their house and became a hard money lender. Another dude pulled the money out, 120,000 out of his house, bought a cheaper house, renting that one out. So now, you know what I mean? Money's just going to work. Thank you, Davey Lee, for the $10 cash app. Again, y'all, this is, if I could explain this any better to y'all, I really keep telling y'all about credit cards only because I know there's going to be a change in the credit market. But two, if you've got 10 to 20K on a credit card, you can buy like a business in a freaking box where you're just showing up, or you're hiring at least one or two girls to come show up. Why do I believe this? I know it. I've watched it. I've seen people do it. I've seen people hire. I'm just going to go there, Black and Latino people that don't have degrees, and work them hard. Like, hey, man, I'm going to pay you $75,000. And that Black person, Latino person, like, oh my God, it's so much money. And they're working them hard because they know where else they going to go get 75 from. They ain't got nowhere. Right? Oh, they even give you health care. They paying an extra $500 a month to get the healthcare benefits for the whole office. Y'all, you're going to see so many older people working young minority people like a dog because they're not prepared. People aren't prepared. Content creators, there's two different types. There's business owners and there's content creators. If you can, again, listen, Lucas. Okay, prime example. I'm gonna give you an example. Steven Crowder should be a business owner, but he's a content creator. He's a hired gun for hire. Daily Wire is a business. They're going to run the ads. They're going to put you on. They're going to sign these 360 contracts. They're going to make sure you got a nice house, some money in your pocket, and you come film them TV shows on the internet. They're going to make sure, right? That's a business. A lot of these content creators just turn the camera on. I'm just turning the camera on sometimes and doing this. But what makes me different from other content creators, I've got a 15,000 person email list. I have over 10,000 students in my database. This is sellable content, right? This is when you have emails and you have names and you have phone numbers, companies can buy that from you. That's the difference, if that makes sense. That's how you know somebody has a business. Whenever I hear somebody go, oh my God, they kicked me off YouTube and I couldn't get back on my channel, my people can't hear me. First thing I ask them, why don't you email your email list, your new channel? I don't have an email list. What? Then you ain't got no business. You just on YouTube goofing. That's why I hear people say they got demonetized channels. Just to get rid of that channel, start a new channel. That's a waste. You know what I mean? I know, that's what I'm saying. My cousin got one good eye. She ain't stupid. She's got one gun. That's all, you know what I'm saying? Hey, she can get to work. She can get to work. So that's mostly what I have for y'all today. I appreciate y'all being here. There's 471 people. There's been over like 500, 600 people in and out the chat since we've been on here. Definitely hit the like button. If you need to book a course, you need to hang out in our live training. Our live training coming up is, oh goodness. Exactly, don't. Our live training coming up is the first week of February. Basically we have credit. We'll talk about all the business credit cards and the new business credit cards I've been applying for. Personally, I break that down to y'all inside the live training and the steps you need to take to do so. Number two, we're going to be talking about digital real estate. And I'm trying to get the Facebook lady to come over. There's 2 or 3 Facebook ladies who've been making like 5, 6, 7 grand off of reels. Trying to get them over. Let me see if they'll come over and I'll let them either teach in class or I'll interview them here. I'm trying to work it out. The other one will be the Middleman to Millions course. Again, if you haven't got that course, we have somebody in there teaching about roofing, cleaning companies, painting companies, service companies, all of it. All of it. A lot of this stuff is just going to take courage. And do you have the capital to pay somebody's payroll for a month? That's it. That's the conversation, really. For 75,000, they working you like you working Egyptian pharaohs building a pyramid. Yeah. Because where else they gonna get it? I know several older black ladies in their 50s. If they went from making 50 to 75, they'll work till they die. That sounds horrible, but I'm being really honest. I know some older black ladies who they realize, their husband died or, unfortunately they got divorced, but they're older black ladies that own their home. They got a nice car, but they only making 45, 50. You come offer her 75, come run your office. Man, she gonna be over there till she 82. She's gonna be over there. She'll go to all the conferences. She'll go do all the events. for that 75. You know what I'm saying? So again, that's what's happening out here basically. So all right, you guys, this is your girl Erica, Classic Clown Blog. Thank you guys for being here. You guys have been amazing. Don't miss out on DJ the Money Coach coming in. Great action, great information. He is live fire later today at 6:10. Don't miss the show. Check you guys out.